Well, okay. Hi, friends. Doc South here. Actually, a beautiful day in February, mid-February. It's almost like feel like I should go out there and plant some crops. Get the tomato plants in. Though I understand it's supposed to go south later this week, so I guess we won't. I guess we won't. But beautiful day. But I thought, being as it is winter, gee, I've got so many tall tales to tell about winter. I don't know. Yeah, that frankly I ought to get started. Maybe then again, maybe these would be more welcome in the summer when it's hot. Everybody's sitting, oh, God, hot. And yeah, I'm there. I'm telling something about when my car froze up or something. No, I think no. Let's go with this. A long time ago now. Gosh, it had to be 40, 45 years ago. I used to live in north central Pennsylvania, up in Sullivan County, Pennsylvania. Oh gosh, what a beautiful place. Just amazing county. When I lived there with my first wife and my kids and all, we had, I think there was 5,000 people in the whole county. Yeah, pretty cool. All mountains, more bears than people, I'm sure. Yes, and the and what I did then was I was a boiler consultant. Yeah, I was. I know. The I started out being a boiler maker for this company out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They traveled the state repairing boilers. You can't take a sick boiler into the ER. It's just not. You got to go. You got to make house calls, right? And some of these boilers were as big as a house, bigger than some houses. 3, 4 stories tall. They pumped a lot of steam into factories for process, keeping the place warm. There were boilers that were about the size of a car, maybe a little smaller. But again, not something to mess with. If that boiler acted up, oh my gosh, the explosion and the loss of life would be something fierce. They're something they are something you've got to be careful with. And so after being a Boilermaker for a while, the boss called me in and said, I think you could advise people on the proper water treatment for a boiler. And we're going to let you do some training on that. And then we're going to set you, you'll just basically you'll be working for us, but you pretty much mark your own schedule. You go visit different boiler rooms and advise people what to do, what chemicals to put in the boiler water, how to, the daily routine of the boiler, that kind of thing. And there you are. And I said, well, okay, that sounds like fun. And he said, you won't get as sooty now. He said, although I do expect you to be under the boilers looking and stuff, don't be wearing any darn suit going to these things. Number one, he said, you get your tie caught in a rotary pump or something, it's gonna pull your head off. I said, yeah, I was thinking about that. He said, no, just you go wear some nice blue jeans and a nice button shirt, or but he said forget that tie and the suit jacket's out. He says no. He said I don't want to have to call your wife saying you're missing parts. I said okay. So anyway, so that basically I rode around Pennsylvania from the southern border to the northern border, it's mostly central Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsy, Scranton, down to, down near Gettysburg. Yep, actually I had some clients in Gettysburg. York, PA, Williamsport, of course, Wilkes-Barre, out in State College and the like, and great. Except what got rough, though, was you did have to make your calls, whether it be nice roads or bad roads. And in Pennsylvania in the winter, things can get tough. They do a great job of, at least back then, they did a great job of keeping the roads clear. But they had a lot of work to do. And there were days I'd get up in the morning, turn on the car, and and, and I'd go about 3 feet. I'd have to get out, get the snow shovel, and eventually work my way through about 2 or 3 feet of snow to where a plow came through on our street, and I could finally get out to the highway. And it'd be what's that song by Simon? Slip sliding away. Yeah, okay, and that was pretty much it. And you had some nice white knuckle rides. Well, one night I was up near Corning, New York. I was over the state line there in Corning, and I had to go to one more boiler to check before I headed home. It was probably somewhere around 4 o'clock. The sun was going down, and I'm riding through. There had been a blizzard. In fact, a blizzard was in progress, and I'm I'm driving through. Oh my gosh, New York State. I don't know if you've ever been up there in the winter, but oh my God, that lake effect snow is very real, and I think it was all coming down on us from Lake Cayuga at that moment. And oh gosh, I'm heading for this next boiler assignment. I just barely got into their parking lot. Oh God, now I can go into the boiler room, warm up a little. Let me see, what is this? Oh, it's a greenhouse. Okay, well, okay. So I go. I look at the greenhouse and my God, that is one big freaking greenhouse. Look at that. Huh. It was about, I'd say about 5 or 6 acres under glass out there in Corning, New York. Right. I hope he had insulated glass. Glass, the glass that insulates, because man, it was cold out and it was windy. Oh my gosh. I'm lugging my equipment to the door of their office. I come through the office. The guy said, "Oh, good, you made it. Good. Yeah, you going to check my boiler?" I said, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "Man, it's running hard today." I said, "I don't doubt it. How you got what, 3 of them?" He says, "And all 3 are running." And these were boilers. Again, they were the size of a small 2-story house, each one, and they were pumping steam. Oh my God! I go into the boiler room; those babies are just screaming. The blowers on them and stuff, feeding giving oxygen to the flame, and so I'm testing them and stuff, and I said, your boilers are checking out pretty good considering what the load is and all that. He says, "Yeah, well, thank you." I said, "So what do you do here? What's your crop?" He says, "Well, come on, I'll show you. You got a moment?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Come on in here. We'll go right through this door." Now, again, the greenhouse part was pretty much insulated from the boiler room, of course, but we go through a door. We go out the door of the boiler room, down like a glass tunnel, like a hallway, and then open up the door into the greenhouse. And oh my gosh, friends, it would have brought tears to your eyes. He says, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "Wow." I said, "It smells like summer. It's nice and warm in here, and I smell roses." He says, "Yep." He says, "We got roses." He says, "We got 6 acres of roses under glass. And here it is, the middle of winter. Valentine's Day's coming up." He said, "We're going to pick them and ship them." I said, "Oh my God, they're everywhere." And they were big, fat, beautiful roses. Oh gosh, some of them getting ready to bud. I guess when they got to the florist, wherever they were going to be sold, department stores, they'd open up, and there were others that were already open, slightly anyway. But it smelled so good, and man, yes, boy, I'm wearing too much. He says, "Yeah, but isn't this something? It's just." I said, "Oh God." And he says, "Yeah, it's beautiful." He said, "I'd just like to come in here some days," he said, "and just sit and read the paper." Huh? I said, "Yeah. Boy, you're going to make a bundle, huh?" He says, "Yeah, we got them all sold." Yeah, I said, "Wow." He said, "I tell you," I said, "Look, I better get back and check your boiler. I've got like a 50-mile drive to get home, and you see the weather." He says, yeah, yeah, okay. And so I'm back there working on the, doing the final testings and stuff. And he comes in, he's got a box. He says, here, you're married, right? I said, yeah, yeah, I've got a nice wife. He says, well, here, give her these. I said, what, roses? I said, oh, she's going to love this. This is nice. And my kids will dig it. Little Sunshine back then was about, oh, she wasn't but about four or so, 4 or 5, if that. And Burgess was just a baby. And I said, yeah, they'll love these. He says, well, cool, there you go. I said, well, thank you. And again, I said, well, your boiler checks out. I'll be on my way. And of course, I grab my roses and I go trudging out into the blizzard. Gosh, the snow's up to my kneecaps. I didn't care. Oh, it smelled so good. It smelled so good. And I put the roses in the car. I got into my car. I go to turn the ignition, and I didn't realize I had left my lights on. Yeah, so of course the battery was dead. Oh my God, in all that weather. And so I had to go, I had to trudge back in, slipped on some slush, made my way into the guy's office. I said, you got jumper cables? He says, oh, holy crud, you left your lights on? I said, yeah. He's, oh man, come on. And so we're both out there fighting through the blizzard. We got the thing hooked up, and the car fired up quick enough once we had the jump cables on, and off I went through oh my God, dodging snow plows and salt spreaders, and oh my gosh, snow drifts, the size of my car. I was driving this little Fiat. I'm out there with all these trucks. My God, they wouldn't even know they hit me. But I got home, and hey, there you go, roses. And I felt, that was kind of cool. That was one great, wonderful winter story. Turned winter into spring, at least for a few minutes. And up in Pensy, that's good enough. Yeah, you don't want to get too soft. Oh, my. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. But absolutely true story. It was great. One really fine guy. And it was nice to at least get a little snickety lick of summer in such an awful, cold, icy blast. We'll see you later. Bye now. God bless.